Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Harry Potter once again. So just like I said this exact same thing, very similar in my previous Harry Potter video. I'm not someone that's ever really watched any of the movies. You know, I never read any of the books, honestly. All I know is the author is J.K. Rowling. And I watched 15 minutes of the first movie way back in the day when someone just gave us the first movie to just watch on DVD. So, with that all being said, the author, J.K. Rowling, has had some, let's say, interesting backlash over her certain comments over dudes that think they're women and who are just basically dudes in wigs, honestly, pretending to be women. And I agree with her on that point. But this is the thing that I told you guys in that video, and I'll just kind of echo it here. Just because you agree with her on that does not mean that she isn't just one of them still. Keep in mind, we know how involved J.K. Rowling is with just Harry Potter in general. I mean, David Zaslav said she is just all in on Harry Potter. You know, this is her baby. She makes more money than we'll ever make in our entire lives every single week, every single month, actually. I'm not kidding. Her deal is very, very good, given how successful she was for Harry Potter, actually. The franchise did very well at the box office. The Fantastic Beasts movies didn't do so well. They kind of canceled those, but, you know, Hogwarts Legacy, a video game that came out back in 2023, 2024, ended up selling a lot of units, doing very, very well. But then we started hearing rumblings, the good old rumors on the internet, that they were going to be doing a new adaptation for a Harry Potter TV series, not movies, because as people have kind of said in the many years, the Harry Potter movies, the movies kind of lost out on a lot of stuff from the books. And to be fair, I could believe that because that's most books to movie adaptations. You're going to just miss out on some stuff. So early concept was that this show was going to be a faithful adaptation of the books, okay? That's what they said. And you're like, okay, they're going to do a more faithful adaptation of the books. You have all these seasons coming potentially. You could have like hour-long episodes. Awesome, right? But then we were hearing rumors that they were actually going to cast a black guy named Papa something. Doesn't matter. Papa Captain EBT of Planet of the Apes. Doesn't matter. But he was going to be playing... He was going to be actually playing the character of Severus Snape. Now, the way I described this character in my last video, I'm going to point it over to you guys now. Okay, so, as you guys know, I don't like race swapping or gender swapping. I don't like none of that shit. I think it's stupid and you shouldn't do it in general. And it's just, any argument people have for it is just all bad. All of it is terrible. People say, well, I'd rather choose just good acting over an accurate description any day. Why can't you just have both? I know some of you are out there are so fucking stupid, you can't hold two thoughts in your head, but you're so dumb, you can't possibly think of anything else that could actually make sense other than, no, you could only get one opposite end of a character versus, yeah, hey, why can't I have the other one? What? And keep in mind, and someone, there were comments that said this, well, you just want all the cast to be white. Let's just use that argument. Let's just say I did. Why does that fucking matter? What if I did want all the cast to be white? Got a problem with that? What's the problem with that? Nothing, right? So, let's go over this character, okay? Just to show you how stupid and how much of a lying pieces of fucking shit this company, Warner Brothers, still is to people. Okay, so, when we had the previous video, it was rumored he was going to be playing the character, right? Now it's confirmed that Black Man has been cast as Severus Snape in the HBO Harry Potter TV series. Thank you for saying the name. So, as you see right here, the resemblance is canny, right? Like, he clearly looks like this guy. You know, hey, come on, man. Let's be honest here.
So I know how familiar you are with Server. I know that Server is one of your favorite characters. So let me ask you, what is your description of Severus Snape?
Thank you. I actually brought it up. This is what the
Okay.
character is described as. Also, J.K. Rowling has sketches of what she believes he would look like in the books. Her own actual sketches of what he should look like.
Yes, except for, do you know where those? Okay, we'll get to where the sketches came from later.
Don't worry.
Let's go on with this.
You'll actually
Okay,
explain
so
it to me. Let's go.
in
Yeah,
the Harry Potter books, your server, Mr. Severus Snape, is described as a thin man with greasy black hair, a large hooked nose, and sallow skin. He's often seen wearing a long black coat that makes him look like a bat.
So true?
Does any part of that say white man?
Isn't sallow skin supposed to be white?
Go ahead and look it up, sir. What do you think the definition of sallow is?
I'm just pointing out from the drawings that I saw, that guy looks white as hell. Just pointing out, not black. What black person has sallow skin? Black people are always described as darker skin tone in most cases, right?
So sallow, for those of us who are not MSK, is of a person's face or complexion of an unhealthy yellow or pale brown color.
That wouldn't be black.
Could describe a black man. Oh,
no way.
A pale brown color couldn't describe a black man?
No way. Black people are always described as either lighter tone or darker for the most part.
So Professor Savage Dead mentions that his skin has the appearance of marble. Fair enough, but there is black marble.
Oh my God, I hate you, Gray.
So what you're saying is they could make him like a pale black man, is what you're saying?
That's just going to be disgusting to look at.
Okay.
So he would look like what? Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One? That'd be disgusting.
He's a little too dark, but yeah. I'm just saying, man. Like, so it is a staple with H.K. Rowling that she does like to change her characters and retroactively say, like, I never said this wasn't.
That's
so
true.
I remember she did it like 20 something years ago with Hermione, where yes, there are these different illustrations of all the characters on the cover and actually at the title, the chapter heads as well. And then she always said, yeah, but that wasn't my vision of it. That was an artist rendition that the publishing company got. And then I was like, no, I swear there's a description of Hermione. And it's like, no, it always just said that her hair was unkempt and kind of a mess. But it never actually described like the skin color of a lot of her characters, which gives her the opportunity to essentially do this. Like, no, that was actually you making the assumption.
Hold on. So you're saying that Harry gave Hermione Hogwarts? Sorry.
She made her go to Hogwarts.
Okay.
Not the same Hogwarts you're familiar with, sir. I understand you haven't read the books. But so one thing is, like, I love me some Rickman. Alan Rickman is fucking awesome. He elevates anything that he's in. But even he doesn't fit the description of it. So he is supposed to be of a certain age. He should be the exact same age as both Lily and James Potter, who are Harry's parents.
Well, greasy black hair. I mean, this man is really.
So you haven't heard of a wig? Hey, MSK, will you take off your hat? Do you have greasy black hair right now?
No, actually, I have long.
Oh, okay. That would be impossible for a black man to have greasy black hair.
A black man wearing a wig. Okay, maybe J.K. Rowling was right. Just pointing it out there. She was right. That's all that movement is. But no, I'll think a bad joke there. Physical appearance: thin man with sallow skin, large hooked nose, yellow uneven teeth, shoulder length greasy black hair, cold black eyes, curling lips, dark penetrating eyes that resemble tunnels. Clothing usually wears black, following robes, long black cloak that makes him look a bat. Other characteristics: as a youth, he is also noted having a twitchy sort of walk that is reminiscent of a spider. Snape's appearance in Harry Potter gives readers an immediate clue as to what kind of person he is.
So the thing is, Rickman is like 20 years, or it was like 20 years too old to play this character. When it shows the actors that that were playing both Lily and James, they should have been a little bit younger. So this guy seems like he is about the right age to be a teacher who is the next generation at this school. So parts of it are more accurate, but it's really weird. Like, because every one of these illustrations came out and because they were classic characters, and then we have all these movies, and again, you're classically associating this kind of
do you consider it a race
lack of description with these? I don't know, man. Because like originally I was on board with Hermione got race swapped, where what? But she was never black. And then I went back through and read every description of it. And it's like, oh wait, okay. So I made that assumption based off of the illustrations and every bit of information and any picture released with either the movie or the books did not depict a black female as Hermione. But apparently that's what J.K. Rowling is saying she always envisioned, and it's all of us who just made the assumption.
I'm asking, dude, don't a lot of these big creators like her always say that? They're like, well, years later, I always kind of envisioned it that way. They always
she's done that for kind of everything, and she is... Yeah. I wouldn't call her woke or whatever, but she's definitely on the liberal left, and she is more towards that. This character was always gay too. So Emily brought it up in the chat as well. But Dumbledore, she just said that she had never explained Dumbledore's past, but in the subsequent movies, they did fully say yes, he is essentially a canonical gay character now. Jeez. But I don't know. She has gone back and kind of, whatever you want to call it, retroactively changed the continuity.
Retcon, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. It wasn't like they always established, this is what the character looks like. Just kidding. This is now what the character looks like. She was kind of vague in the descriptions. Okay. But it's not what most people are going to associate with it. But
Bob,
he is the right age. Yeah, so it's pluses and minuses.
For me, I think the big problems are going to come during certain scenes or story elements, for example, because when you start having flashbacks to scenes where Harry's father was mistreating Snape, I think you're going to get a lot of people coming out saying, well, then Harry's father was obviously racist.
Yeah.
Or I think also I just think it changes certain story elements in this case. I don't think that she ever envisioned this character to be a black man. I get what you're saying, Gray, about Hermione, and to me, I think some of the race swap, or maybe not even race swaps, because if the descriptions were vague, then because I don't remember Hermione's being vague, but it might have been. It's been a while since I've read the books, so I mean, if some of these might be because studios nowadays have to make some of these changes, because if they don't, they're not considered for any awards and stuff like that. So how much of this is J.K. Rowling saying, oh yeah, I really envision this, or her making a concession in order to appease studios and needs that they have for certain types
I'll even say this, or what if she was the one that made the decision? Because we know she's heavily involved with the show.
Well, she might have. That's what I'm saying. She might have
been the one that actually suggested this, honestly.
Yeah, she might have, because like I said, the studios nowadays have to make a lot of these decisions. Maybe she said, you know what, if we're going to swap a character or whatnot, let's do this one. I mean, that might have been her, but we haven't even seen the rest of the cast yet. We've only heard a couple of people that we might get a lot more changes from what we think these characters should look like, based on the different illustrations that we've seen and their movie counterparts.
Okay. And then we'll go up to here. This was one of Ryan's posts, and this was actually the description of what the series was going to be. HBO has described Harry Potter as a faithful adaptation that will feature a new cast to lead a new generation of fandom, full of the fantastic detail and much loved characters Harry Potter fans have loved for over 20 years.
There was a 5 in there.
Good Lord. HBO told fans this would be a faithful adaptation of the books. Race swapping one of the most complex and important characters in Snape is not faithful to the books. It's bullshit. Oh, even outside of that, I hate race swaps. So stupid, so lazy. But you know what? I told people this with J.K. Rowling. I'll be honest with her, she probably suggested they do this. Why would she not? She's heavily involved with the show.
Well, that's why
she has one disagreement with these Looney Tunes, because they're just dudes in wigs pretending to be women. That's it. She wouldn't, like, people saying, would she vote for Trump? Doesn't matter. First, she doesn't live in America. What the hell's wrong with some of you? You guys are stupid out there. Good fucking God. But this doesn't surprise me at all. They've did this stuff constantly, man. Like, just recently, there's no reason to make a video out of it for one of these shows. They casted that one black lady in Wicked, the one that looks like just a gremlin, to play Jesus in a play. I'm not kidding. That actually happened.
Yeah. My understanding, just some context to that, because I'm totally against it. But isn't that supposed to be an all-female cast anyway?
That's even more.
That's what I was hearing.
God,
that it was supposed to be an all-female cast.
Okay, great. I want to ask you this because you said the sketchings were kind of off from her description. So just type it up. Severus Snape, book image description, right? Any of these kind of ring a bell in your head about which ones she said didn't really count or anything?
Well, like that's the thing. I believe the one on the far right and kind of the middle of the bottom were
Okay.
at least close to the original book ones, which isn't, exactly giving Rickman vibes, but I'm trying
This
to
is
remember
closer
which
than
one were the
this.
original ones.
It's closer than
'Cause
that,
I know
at
my
least,
books were
I'd say.
reprints.
Okay. I'm just saying if
Um,
she designed, and you're saying that she didn't design that, but that was just the way the publication company designed the character, right? From what I understand.
So that was her claims, and that was kind of her justification of why, like, Hermione is black. Like, no, I never said that she looked like this. That was just the illustrator from the
Okay,
book
got you.
company who
Okay.
said it. So I don't know. I have no clue. Like, did she actually work with them, give them descriptions of each character? Did they just read the book and then like do it? I don't know who like signed off on it, but a lot of them were very simple illustrations that are much more like the black and white one. I don't think any of them were color except for the
Mhm.
cover of the book, as far as I remember.
Oh
They were
God.
just a lot more like kind of simple black and white drawings, and then there were kind of some simple ones by the chapter heads as well. Um, it- Harry Potter looked very much like Harry Potter. You got the big glasses, the scar
She
on the
counts that
forehead, and
one. You
the
know.
hair.
Yeah.
But she never said that she okayed these, and that was kind of her explanation for the
Mhm.
other race swaps that have been happened in the past. So I don't know. I swear that was like 20 years ago when she decided that no, actually Hermione has been black all along. I think that was even before the Dumbledore is gay thing, if I remember right.
Laps brought up.
Um,
She also said Snape should be the ugliest man in the world. Good
which
God.
this dude is not ugly.
Yeah.
I can see why people call him Papa because he's not the ugliest.
That's just
But
very homo. Pause.
I thought it would, fit right in on your show.
Oh,
But
guys.
fair enough, man. It doesn't bug me that much or surprise me that much because
But we've
I've
seen
kind
so
of
many at this
seen
point.
what she's done. Well, specifically with this actual like property, it's kind of her thing. It's you just assumed. So I'm assuming it's kind of that same answer. And then I don't know how much she has to do with the casting on this. I know they said that they wanted to like heavily consult her on it, and she has some say, but I'm not sure. Bob brings up that in order to be considered for a lot of these things, a lot of the studios a lot of the awards have mandates, and then the studio sets down a mandate of, hey, we need to be a contender, so you need to have at least this much representation. Who knows what the cause of it is, but I don't know. This dude can definitely act. I was looking through. I've only seen him on Black Mirror and crap. There was one other thing, and I'm blanking on it now. But he's got a ton of Shakespeare in his past. To me, that seems like the kind of character that I'd want in this. That's kind of the same thing with the Rickman. Like he's got a lot of classical training behind him, and he brought that gravitas to this role. I hope this dude can do that because the character Snape is really cool, and the turn is a very classic one. So I really hope that they
as what Bob said
do it
earlier,
well.
as what Bob said earlier, when anytime that character, that version of him is going to interact with Harry, it's just to be perceived as racism. Or if like, guys, this is so stupid. That's why you just don't race swap. Just dumb shit. But I'll ask you, Bob, your closing thoughts on all this.
That's a hilarious comment by Walter, though.
Oh,
Come on, they missed Sirius Black. Come on,
watch this be white because they just can't help themselves. They'll just do a reverse Uno. But Bob, what about you, man?
I personally, I'm not. It doesn't bother me a ton, just because I expected them to do some of this. I'm still gonna end up watching this and give it a shot. In worst case scenario, I give it a bad review on my channel. So I mean, but I'm willing to give this a shot, but I am gonna lower my expectations because I get what you're saying, Gray. That like with the descriptions, but fans, because of the illustrations and the movie counterparts, have come to expect these characters to look a certain way. And so when you do make changes like that, it is going to affect us because we have a preconceived idea of what we think the character should look like. Now, me personally, it doesn't bother me quite as much, but I can understand some of the backlash here. And my concern is just when you do certain scenes, are you going to eliminate that stuff because you don't want certain characters to come off as racist or whatnot? Because in the books and even some scenes in the movie, Harry's father was pretty cruel to Snape, and to see some of that on screen, you're gonna automatically say, okay, well, Harry's father was a racist.
Yeah. As for me, just people have to understand this. Just because you agree with someone on one thing does not mean that they will, I don't know, agree with you politically on anything else. Some people might politically despise each other, but agree on just one thing, because that's what makes us unique as humans. People were so gun-ho that J.K. Rowling was on their side that they forgot, wait a minute, this person just kind of like them, so she just disagrees with them on this one thing. That's what's surprising too. This person agrees with all of you and bullshit like that. They just don't agree with you on this one thing. So yeah, when I read those descriptions of that kind of character, I'm like, that sounds like a white dude. If your skin is like, I don't know, sallow or sour milk, it's like a black person, sour milk skin. Like, I don't know about that. I'm just pointing out. But yeah, race swaps are stupid. Gender swaps are stupid. And Hollywood just keeps doing this. It's billed as a faithful adaptation of the books, but, they just can't help themselves, because that's what these people are. They just do this because I don't really know why they do it anymore. No one likes it. This isn't liked by anybody, really, probably, I'd imagine, but you never know.
What the hell are you talking about? You just mentioned, like, at the start of this, that she's making more money in a day than we'll ever make in a lifetime, or something.
No, I mean, that's
along
separate,
those lines.
Obviously, Gray.
I'm just saying, someone likes it.
Would you love to interact with me at some point in the Hogwarts mansion,
No.
and I can hocus pocus erecticitis? So
no, I'm good.
Yeah, good lord, man, the resemblance is canny right there. Good job, Hollywood. Holy fucking shit. But thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later.